Hey there, how are ya? I hope everybody is having a positive, productive day today. I know I made a post saying that I wasn't going to do a video, but if you know, you know. Usually when you decide you're going to take a break, that's when Spirit's like, no, you're not. Okay, so I've been kind of having a self-love kind of day. It's been it was nice this morning, but as the day went on, the weather's kind of changing. It got kind of rainy and stormy there for a little while. So, excuse the traffic noise in the background. I've got all the windows open. And, so I took a spiritual shower, kind of washed off some of that weight. We're still in the Pluto thing, and I just know, I don't know all the details, but I just know there's a lot going on up there. I already tried to do this video once, and I ended up having to start it over because I totally lost my train of thought. I can only assume some negative energy was being sent my way, and, so I had to rebuke that off of me. But that being said, I pray that your angels, ancestors, spirit guides, and of course the Most High are with you today. Also, I want to remind you to put on your armor. I pray that God clothes us in his armor from head to toe as we go throughout this day, that he strengthens our discernment and guides our steps. I also want to send loving, healing energy to anybody that's still recovering from the storms, anybody that's dealing with displacement, homelessness, addiction, depression, anxiety, loss of a loved one, procrastination, strife in your life. I'm just sending you loads of loving, healing energy today. That being said, I'm going to do the devotional today, even though I said that I wasn't. I guess I just need to go ahead and go take that down. But that being said, I don't know why I didn't start doing it sooner, but I'm going to start taking pictures of the daily devotion and posting it on the community tab and in a short, like I've been doing with the affirmation cards. I don't know why I didn't start doing that sooner, but anyways, I'm going to start doing it now. Daily devotion from Sarah Young's Jesus Calling for October 26th, 2024. Come to me when you are hurting, and I will soothe your pain. Come to me when you are joyful, and I will share your joy, multiplying it many times over. I am all you need, just when you need it. Your deepest desires find fulfillment in me alone. This is the age of self-help. Bookstores abound with books about taking care of number one, making oneself the center of all things. The main goal of these mythologies is to become self-sufficient and confident. You, however, have been called to take a road less traveled. Continual dependence on me. True confidence comes from knowing you are complete in my presence. Everything you need has its counterpart in me. She references John chapter 15, verse 5, which I've got pulled up, and then James chapter 1, verse 4. And this very much goes along with the messages that I got. It was 3:44 on the timer. The messages that I got before I came on to do the devotion, which is what pushed me to come on and do the devotion. Okay, John 15, verse 5. I am the vine, and ye are the branches. He that abideth in me, and I in him, the same bringeth forth much fruit. For without me ye can do nothing. Okay, and then I guess I'm going to do my message backwards because one of the messages I got was it's a relationship. There's more. It's not a one-way street. When you talk about a relationship with a significant other, with a family member, with a coworker, it's a two-way street, right? To make that work. Whatever kind of relationship it is, it takes both people. Well, the same with spirit. God, the Most High, whatever name you want to give it. But a lot of people make the mistake of thinking, well, I'm where I'm at. I am where I am and I'm meant to be here. Well, because of the way the scripture tells us that, our story's already written. Well, the story that's written is a two-way street. So it's like you got two people writing a book. And when that book is supposed to be done, only one person has done their job. So that means half of the story is missing. Does that make sense? I hope it does. It requires our input. No, our work alone can't accomplish it. It's a spiritual work that needs to be done most of the time. Okay, so jumping back to the beginning, the top of my message, I wanted to make sure and bring her up. Her Healing with Flow, I believe, is the name of her YouTube page. But she's been popping up on mine a lot lately, and I've watched several of her videos, and me and her really seem to be on the same kind of vibe. And so go check her out. She's a cool chick. I think she was on TV or something. Like, there was something that she did that got her known, but I don't really know what that is. Okay, so when I was watching her today, this morning while I was having my tea and all that jazz, I got my own little messages, and one of them was, when our life has been emptied, it makes room for the new things. Most of the time when we hear people say that, we think of physical things, material things, people, places, possessions, right? But sometimes it's mental things. My ankle has started hurting today, so let's turn around a little bit. There we go. I need to get it elevated. And with that, I got the scripture where it talks about God is doing a new thing. And I wasn't really sure what scripture that was. It is Isaiah 43 verse, really, I went back to 18 through 20. Remember ye not the former things, neither consider the things of the old. Behold, I will do a new thing. Now it shall spring forth. Shall ye know it not? I will even make a way in the wilderness and rivers in the desert. The beasts of the field shall honor me, the dragons and the owls, because I give waters in the wilderness and rivers in the desert to give drink to my people, my chosen. I'm going to go ahead and read 21 as well. This people have I formed for myself. They shall show forth my praise. So, and when we reach that time in our life where, things are being emptied out, it's not just the physical things. Most of it is spiritual. Most of it is internal. The internal work that needs to be done. And 9:22 on the timer. Negative thought patterns, negative words, negative habits, negative feelings, negative coping mechanisms. And a lot of times we don't realize that they're negative, because a lot of times we've grown up in an environment that introduced those habits into our life to begin with. So we don't know that it's not normal. So in order to heal, you can't stay in that same environment. You can't stay around that person that hurts you. You can't stay in that place that hurts you. You can't stay in that way of thinking, in that frame of mind that continues to hurt you. Even after the hurt of the actual hurt is gone, our mind continues to allow it to hurt us. We can really choose two different paths. Are we gonna break free of that hurt, learn from that hurt, and move forward? Or are we going to keep letting that hurt re-hurt us over and over again? And it's self-sabotage at its finest. And the example that I got was bee stings. Say you're out on a hike and something happens and you disturb a nest of yellow jackets in the ground. Okay, well, you're not just going to sit there in that one place and let them keep stinging you. You're going to run, right? You're going to run away from the hurt. Now, of course, that can be taken two different ways. Either way, you need to run away from it, whether it's physical or internal. But take the time to heal. Say you get 11 yellow jacket stings. That's going to take a toll on your health, right? You're probably going to feel bad for a couple days. And you kind of have to nurse your body and, give it a little bit of extra TLC to help it recover. Same thing, same thought process, right? But so many of us run towards the negative thoughts, the negative words, the negative habits, the negative feelings, the negative coping mechanisms, instead of learning a new way. Say, your way of dealing with a 12:21 on the timer. Your way of dealing with a bad day at work is coming home and drinking a 6-pack. I've never been a drinker, so I can't really relate to that, but it's a good example. Instead of 12:33 on the timer, instead of drinking a 6-pack, you come home and you work out in the yard. Blow off some steam, tear some stuff up, break something, fix something. Of course, that's not every guy's thing or every girl's thing, but whatever works for you. And that turns a negative into a positive. Does that make sense? We all have negative coping mechanisms. We don't necessarily understand why we have them until we start healing. One of mine is eating. When I get emotional, when I get stressed, when I get sad, I want to eat. Well, that's because that's what my family always did. My mother did that. My grandmother did that. That's just what we did, But there's no thought behind it. But that's the whole point. 1333. Though eating gives us those chemical releases of being happy. But that's an unhealthy, that's a negative coping mechanism. Instead, because it's not healthy to just sit around and eat all day. So for me, which it's not really an option completely right now, but I do have options, but they're just not convenient ones. Instead of eating, when I would get out and work in the yard, do something, get my mind off of it. 14:14 on the timer. There's always a positive. We don't always have to go towards the negative, but because it's habit, because it's what we're used to, that's just what we do. And it takes at least starting the healing process to start breaking it down and understanding why we do the things that we do. And are those good things good for us, or are they hurting us? It's a difficult process. 14:44 on the timer. Like I say all the time, you have to be a private investigator of yourself. Dig down deep and find out what the motive is behind it. Build the plot. You know what I mean? All right. I'm almost out of time. As always, be grateful for what you have, the big, the small, and the blessings yet to come. If you see a need out there today, tomorrow, next week, if there's any possible way that you can fill that need, please do so. You may not only better their day, but you could possibly change their life, and you never know the impact it'll have on yours. Be blessed, find peace, and I'll see you next time.